Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it's a Rumour Patrol video. I haven't done one of these for yonks and because there really haven't been many rumours, you know. No rumours that anybody cares about. I mean, like, I don't know what Yaz and Jodie Whittaker are going to get together in Doctor Who. I mean, that's not really a rumour. You know, like, we've all known for about, 3 years that's going to happen, even though they just thought it up on the fly. Yeah, of course that happened. No, we have rumours about Doctor Who that we care about. I'll be honest, my bollocks meter is somewhat high. On a lot of that. You know, my bollock is somewhat high. But it's especially the juicy rumour I got, which I could hear it being real. I could totally hear it being real. Again, after Rusty Davies said he's going back, I'll believe pretty much anything. I wouldn't be shocked. Well, I'll be shocked at a lot of things, but I wouldn't be that shocked, at anything. So we got lots of rumours. We got is it a fan theory when it's done by the? Is done by the press? Is that a fan theory? I don't know. I don't really think they're fans. We have stuff fans have been doing. That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird, but God bless them. I'm very happy with all of them. Before we get into any of this stuff, before we do it, could I ask you? Could I beseech you? Could I request of you that you hit the like button? That'd be freaking awesome. Thank you so much. I am so insanely grateful, and I am insanely grateful. It really, really does help me. Comments really help me. Subscribing really super duper helps me, and I think sharing the video. I never share other people's videos. I watch Tim Pool. Like, he's one of my main go-to people for news. It just seems to be kind of like independent to me. It doesn't seem to be either way, and I like that about my news, right? And he always says, the best thing you can do for me is share this video. And I believe him, and I would like to help it, and I never do. Okay? I never, ever do. And I guess I just don't want to be that guy who's always sharing politics videos. But could you share this one? Whatever it is that's stopping me sharing other people, could you get over that and share this one? And then tell me how you got over it, and I'll do the same, okay? I think that's quite a nice symbiotic relationship. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Substack, join at my Substack. I got content coming out of that today. I've got I have weekly comics. I have my own stuff, vintage comics. A whole bunch of stuff. Coming out, and plus all notifications of all my sparkling and wonderful content. And yeah, honestly, it would, again, this is just a real stupid thing. If you can sign up for it, that really, really helps me, because the more people sign up for it, the more they promote me, and it's just better. Okay, it's just better. Yes, basically, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. That's everything I can think to ask you before we get through. Now, the first rumour, the juicy one, the lead one, I can't show you the original text of it. It was from a tweet that has since been deleted. So this, of course, means that proves the rumour to be 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Do not question it in any way, shape, or form. Or, of course, it could prove it to be 100% false. Don't look at it. Don't think about it in any way. So what is this rumour? What is Rusty Davies planning on his return? Because he's been a bit stum, right? He's been a bit quiet about what's going on, what he's planning to do. You get a feeling it's not what you expect. You get that feeling because he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do what you expect." So you do get a feeling he's going to do something different, outside the box, something that utilizes the new television landscape. And boy, that for me excites me more than anything else, right? Inventing a new way to tell stories. I've always thought it's tragic, right? That even on a low-budget productions, nobody did anything in VR and virtual reality, right? If you can make porn with it, you can make anything with it, and you don't really need it to. I mean, it just seems to be an interesting idea that a low-budget filmmaker could do something really bloody interesting and think outside the box, and nobody's done it. Like, nobody's done it. I don't know why. But I like innovations in technology. I've always liked innovations. I'm one of those guys, right? I'm one of the early adopter guys. So I don't know what he's going to innovate. So this first room, as I said, has been deleted from Twitter. It's that Rusty Davies is doing not one special, but a series of 5 specials that are 90 minutes long each. And they culminate in the reveal of the next Doctor. They're calling it the 14th Doctor. I'm a bit dubious it's the 14th Doctor, right? I am a wee bit dubious about that. For the next rumor that I'll get to in a minute, is the Doctor. The Doctor, but apparently the Doctor has been fractured. Maybe it's going to tie into the Chris Chibnall idea. Maybe this will be the way to retcon away the Chris Chibnall era. Like they've leaned very much into multiverse. So the Doctor's been fractured, and there's lots of different Doctors, right? So there's one Doctor is going to be Helena Bonham Carter, which sounds like pretty good casting to me. I think the female Doctor has really been murdered. The idea just murdered beyond murdered by Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, which I thought was workable, right? I thought a lot of things. Listen, I thought Russia was just going to do a small incursion into was it Ukraine? No, and then I thought there'll be no bother for them. They're just right. No, they're literally giving out citizen guns. Now, firstly. If I was one of those citizens, I'll be like, no, where's the line to get Russian flags? But it's actually working, right? Wars, I know this is a real aside, but it blows my mind. Wars are won on propaganda. That's why, if you've ever seen that movie, Flags of Our Father, which is that famous World War II picture of the people like putting up a US flag, it looks like they're under fire. It really wasn't like that at all. But that was so important, right? Wars are fought and won on propaganda. So, the president of Ukraine, apparently corrupt as anything, right? Corrupt as corrupt could be, right? Brilliant move. He put on a flak jacket and went to, well, at least did a photo op with him ready to fight to the death, And what does that effect do? It means a lot of citizens will take these guns and they will fight in the bloody streets, or they'll fight from their buildings or whatever, right? Whatever. Why? And because that makes it basically impossible to invade an occupied country. No one's ever going to invade and occupy Texas. Why? Because they all got bloody guns. That's why. That's why I've never been a big fan of de-arming populations. I thought having an armed population is really quite good. The odd school shooting, notwithstanding. And I think that's a bit of a dark way of looking at it. Anyway, I digress. I have no idea how I got onto that. But yeah, propaganda. Propaganda is freaking everything. So I think the idea of female dogs, because maybe one of the things that Rusty Evans would like to do is say, no, it's just, I understand these bumbling morons screwed it up, but I think he's very much drunk the Kool-Aid. He's very much into the ally, the LGBTQ plus. He gave that big speech a few months ago saying, no, we can't ignore the T people in the LGBTQ alliance. Most gay people I know are like, geez, these people are drama queens. and they would know, right? And they would know. I can't argue with them. So I can see him on today. Also, another name linked to it is Hugh Grant. Now, I've known Rusty Davies has wanted to work with Hugh Grant for a long time, was very excited to finally do it on a Very British Scandal. I think that's his best work. I mean, that or It's a Sin, I'm not sure. I love both of those, right? He's always wanted Hugh Grant as a Doctor first time round. As a one-off, I can see it happening. I mean, like, he knows him now, right? They've worked together now. He's actually higher up in his career now. Well, Hugh Grant's a little bit lower down in his career now. But, I could totally see that happening. And it would also tie into there being an alternate David Tennant, right? And alternate, it'll be there's only one David Tennant who'll play an alternate Doctor. Please, if they fight this in the future, they go, how did they clone David Tennant and make a difference? No, it's the same guy. He's just actoring, right? Doing things. And alternate, well, it wouldn't be Donna Noble. We Catherine Tate playing a different character. So there's a fractured Doctor, and they all come together to make the 14th Doctor somehow, right? And again, it fits into retconning away the Chibnall era, proving a woman can play the Doctor, right? Which I think is like he would like to prove, and setting Doctor Who back on track for the future, which is what I think he would like to do, right? Is this rumor credible? It's as credible as any of them, isn't it? Right? It's as credible as absolutely any of them. I don't think there's going to be any connective tissue between Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who and Rusty Davies' RTD2, right? The astrometric RTD2, because I think he absolutely hates it. But maybe if they're doing like a multiverse thing, yeah, I could see that's where he would go with it, right? I could see that's where something that he would think about. So let's get back to the rumors. Here's another reason why I don't think there's any connection, because of this rumor, right? Which also deleted. Update. Just had a very interesting message from BBC Studios about regeneration. By the way, this is all smart. I screenshotted this as soon as I saw it. Somebody sent me this last night. The Hugh Grant, the Helena Bonham Carter rumor. I should have screenshotted that right away, and schmuck that I didn't. Just a very interesting message from BBC Studios. Source regarding regeneration. It doesn't really sound like we're meeting 14 in Jodah's last episode. I do not think we are. I think, listen, this is a safe rumor to make up because it sounds. You've got to keep that in mind. When people make up rumors, it's a mixture of wish fulfillment and safety of not being found out, right? So I think this is a reasonably safe rumor to predict. They were planning to fade to black when it was written. Keep in mind that Chibnall only learned about RTD the day before the announcement. I love that. No, that's interesting, by the way. This was confirmed by Matt Stevens, right? This was confirmed and this came out a long time before Matt Stevens said that at the Gallifrey 1 convention. To me, that adds credibility to this, right? They're planning to fade back until learn about it only the day before the announcement, so they would only have 2 or 3 weeks to max release with any crossover. My guess, 14 hasn't been cast yet. But that is also my guess as well. I don't think he's been cast yet. So what will be? I mean, like again, we're looking at Doctor Who universe. We're looking at a channel of stuff. I really hope he's leading into animation. I'm more I think about it, more I get excited about it. I guess we just got. It's a few months to go. I guess we just got to wait. Really, I guess we got to wait. Maybe they'll have a casting announcement around April to float around the Legend of the Sea Devils. Oh God, and the more I think, oh God, we got to go through 2 more of these turgid episodes. The more it just fills me with like dread. But at least there is a hope, and not a reality, just a hope that better days, happier days are coming, right? Happier days are coming. So, and people are thinking about those happy days quite a lot now. Let's look at this article from BBC. It's from a couple of days ago. Rusty Davies teased Doctor Who return weeks before it was announced. Really? Because I remember him saying, oh, look, I remember when I ran Doctor Who, I did a Marvel Star universe. It was just the thing today. I didn't even realise I was doing it. Was that teasing it? I don't know. Can't we just talk about who's going to be the next Doctor Who showrunner? It says in a speech box. Okay. I have no idea what he's talking about. Right. By Hugh Fullerton. I haven't seen him for a while, right? A King of the Shills has been shilling elsewhere, but he's back. Rusty Davies wants to talk about the next Doctor Who showrunner. We're back in August 2021, just a couple of weeks after Christian announced he was departing the series, with intense speculation arranging about his successor. And he said, again, we know he tried to get other people to take it over and over again. He tried, and it was like, oh my God, that'd be terrible. Actually, you know who I wouldn't mind seeing do it? Stephen Knight, the guy who created Peaky Blinders, which everybody like all my kids, like all my boys, they love Peaky Blinders. It's really well. I'm like, how do you understand what they're saying? You know, Tobey. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how they understand, but they love Peaky Blinders. Like all my boys love Peaky Blinders. He's great. He's a real massive talent. He did that show Taboo as well. 1 season, Tom Hardy. Look, that basically rested on Tom Hardy's shoulder. Did a great movie with Tom Hardy as well called Locke, Locke. He's a writer. He's somebody who knows stories and understands stories and knows how to tell stories. And I think it'll be a very different take on Doctor Who. I guess we'll get Robert Hardy. No, Tom, not Robert Hardy. Being dead. Assuming he's dead, right? Being dead is a bit of an impediment. Not so much for politics, though, as it turns out. Anyway, Tom Hardy. I guess we'll get a Tom Hardy Doctor, if they could get him. But yeah, look, I really like the idea of there being a different take on Doctor Who. But I guess he tried to get tons of people and nobody would take it, right? Nobody would take it. I guess it's a combination of having to follow these insane BBC edicts and Doctor Who being just a tainted property. That's what I was looking for. We're back in August 2021, just a couple of weeks before, after Chris Chibnall announced he was departing the BBC series, with intense speculation raging about its successor. Intense speculation also raging within Cardiff, because he didn't know who it was going to be either. He thought he killed Doctor Who. Ex-series boss Davies, meanwhile, made a surprise return to Whoniverse thanks to the production of a lost script he'd written in the 80s, now turned into a Big Finish audio drama starring Colin Baker and Bonnie Ipeland, which is what I'm looking forward to most next month from Big Finish. I remember being my flat in Roath, in Claude Road in Roath. Okay, well, thanks for letting us know. Can you give us your GPS? Davies told Radio Times. On the other press on a virtual press call for Mind of Hojak coming to Big Finish this March. Well, it was 85, 86, and 87. That's why it's a blur. Listen, mate, I've seen how It's a Sin begins. If that was a reflection of your life, that first episode, I'm not surprised it was a blur. I mean, look, quite frankly, I'm not surprised if you slipped on the carpet a few times. It's like it doesn't look like it was too sanitary for anybody over there. Yes, but I understand it would be a blur, right? That's just me and my little typewriter dream of making Doctor Who one day. Isn't that funny? It's so I love Rusty Davies. With hindsight, Davies' nostalgia may have had a deeper source. Just 6 weeks or so after this conversation, he was revealed to be returning as the showrunner of Doctor Who on TV, flabbergasting fans. That's true. My flabber has really been quite as gasted. And who had waved goodbye to his era in 2010. And again, this was a rumor circulating about a year earlier. What came first, the rumor or the reality? I don't know. Well, how long? I think this happened quickly, right? I think this happened within about 2-3 weeks, right? Like, I think Jane Tranter went to Russell and said, "Look, we can pick this up. We can pick it up from the song. We can do well from it. We can get complete creative control. We just need somebody who's got an incredible track record coming out with an incredible new take on Doctor Who. Do you know anybody?" And he's like, "Oh, I might have an idea, right? I might have an idea." And I really think it happened quickly, right? But I don't know. I would love to read the book on it. I would love to read the book on this era. Oh God, the inside story. Look, Chibnall, you want to do a piece of Doctor Who merchandise? I will buy a warts and all inside story of your time on Doctor Who. Oh please, you and Ben Cook, you go and make it. Look, I'll even give Ben Cook a bit more money for that. Okay, there you go. Sounds pretty fair, doesn't it? Just 6 weeks or so after the conversation, he was suddenly the Mind of Hojak's audio began to look less like a whim and more like a harbinger of Davis's full return. Do you think it was the same thing, or do you think they were separate? I think they were reasonably the same thing. Right? I think it was the same thing. Where were we up to? Certainly, the big announcement seemed to have have been on Davis's mind when we spoke, with the screenwriter apparently teasing journalists with the truth throughout the interview. He does that. Okay, let that. I think we're going to get to the nitty-gritty now, which has been held under embargo until this week. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I did not know that. It wasn't at all, to be honest, Dave began to say when asked about how the Hojak script was changed for audio. It was really important to, can't we just talk about who's going to be the next Doctor Who showrunner? Okay, yes, we could do that. He laughed before virtually turning into HoJack co-writer Scott Hancock. I think this is good news for all the writers in Big Finish as well. Generally speaking, I mean, look, I like the way Russell Davies brought in and curated new talent. Did Moffat do that? Not really. He kind of just, I mean, you had, was it, the guy did, what's that? The guy did Luther. He did a couple of episodes. But he really developed a huge stable of great writers, right? Just like back in the 70s, you know, they had a stable of great writers. Then the 2000s had a stable of great writers, which basically stayed through the Moffat years as well, including Moffat. Okay, I guess he was one of the stable of great writers. Certainly the big announcement, blah, 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 blah. He laughed before turning over to Scott Hancock. I think Scott Hancock's going to get a writing gig then. I say Scott Hancock. Come on, Scott, you should do it. Yeah, wouldn't that be good? Now, don't you think Big Finish was one of the people they went to take over? Because he said, I was throwing out batters to anyone. Likely. I think it's very likely. Later, the Mind of HoJack star Colin Baker may have picked up on some of the cool subjects, wondering aloud whether it was time for Davies' era to be resurrected. The seeds of the future of the Russell T Davies that we all know are in the mind of HoJack, with the former and current Sixth Doctor. I don't know what that means. Okay, former and current Sixth Doctor. The Sixth Doctor. Can we just say Sixth current Doctor? And they haven't recast him yet. They all seem to examine what it's like to be on the outside, living as a stranger on society that we live in, which is what the Second Coming was about in many ways. That's interesting. That is, I mean, again, that's the way of describing most Doctor Who fans. And this script was all about, and this script as well is all about an outsider trying to, I mean, he's a villain, but he's trying to do horrible things, but he's the one person who is different. It's about difference. Science is always about difference in many ways, of course. It's interesting. Again, interesting point of view. And again, I can't believe this has been embargoed until now. Really? I bet this is coming out early in March. I'm really excited for it. Davies said, maybe this means that Doctor Who came first in my thinking, though, because there I was in the 60s watching the show about an outsider coming in. So maybe that set the template. Maybe everything I'm writing is Doctor Who. OMG! That's what I am. This long been my something I contested. Not contested. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. It's one of the things I've long said. I long theorized that the reason Doctor Who has such a big gay audience, or LGBTQ plus audience, I should say, is because it appeals to an outsider. The hero is an outsider, right? The hero is an outsider. And if you're different, you're an outsider. Yeah, I get it. If only Russell Baker laughed us, asking soon after, is it time for you to come back? I don't think he knew. I don't think Colin Baker knew, because again, Chibnall was knocked off his bloody seat. If Colin Baker knew it, enough people would know about it that Chibnall would know about it. By popular demand, David laughed. By popular demand, science. A tumbleweed just went past. I think things were going on. Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it? Not at all, added Bonnie Langford, back as companion Mel for the audio adaptation. I was actually jealous when you were there and show running it, because it was suddenly, well, you know, it made things make sense. When I did some conventions about, I don't know, 20 something years ago, I was interested to hear the other companions saying, you know, that companions were sort of two-dimensional. We don't really... God, you were one-dimensional, Mel. I'm sorry, Bonnie. And you're great. I love Bonnie Langford, okay? Bonnie Langford is awesome. And a national treasure. Your character was one-dimensional. And you're so good, you're able to sell it, right? You're totally able to sell it. Those costumes, oh my God, they're all so awful. We don't really... I'm just thinking of that blue polka-dotted one. What was that one in? Oh, God, it was so bad. Was that Paradise Towers? She had the matching bathing suit, which didn't really flatter. And boy, but what a trooper, right? That water looked freezing, and she was just a trooper throughout the whole thing. In the two-dimensional, we don't really want to know too much, but it's a way to forward the story or interject or to get a way to create another B string going through it. Yeah, again, imagine that Russell T Davies wrote Doctor Who. He came in as the new script editor, right? And Colin Baker wasn't fired. This is what we would have got. And I thought, oh, good, because I was looking for something all the time, and I never found it. But when I saw the new Doctor Who, the way it is, I thought, oh, there it is. There's the anchor on which to base yourself. There's your foundations there. Yeah, so true. I think that's why Ace works so well, right? I think Ace had the most backstory of any character up until that point, really. Let's go through them. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, what was Perry's backstory? She was an annoyed slut. Okay, essentially, an angry slut. I don't really understand. Who really liked spandex. Just loved spandex. I love Perry loving the spandex. That's actually going to tie into a new story as we go on. Don't worry. We're going to cover everything. You were. So maybe, who knows, maybe she is already gave Davies his first idea for the 6th anniversary special. I think it's about time Mel hopped off the spaceship and came back to Earth, he told her. Interesting. Okay, looking back, it's easy to imagine just why the mind of Hojak had Davies waxing lyrical about Doctor Who. The interview took place on August 12th, and the screenwriter's return to the TV show was announced on the 24th, and Chibnall found out on the 23rd. Do you think it could have sparked? This could have been the beginning of it. Could be, couldn't it? Really could be. So 24th, the whole effort must have been on his mind as he worked on his first ever Doctor Who script with the two heroes. Seriously, what a joy, what an honour, he told Baker and Langford on the call. I wrote this for you two all those million years ago when I was thin and ginger and gorgeous. Now I'm just an old man. I love Russell Davies, okay? Anyone who can be self-deprecating is good in my mind. If I thought back then that this would ever get made, you know what? Life is terrible, light and awful. The world is burning. We're all going to die. But sometimes the world is absolutely lovely. Okay, yes, I agree. All these years later, we get to make this, and it's honestly a thing of absolute joy to do. I am so happy. We have to agree. Okay, blah blah. So okay. Sounds like it was on his mind, right? Sounds like it was certainly on his mind. So, we'll take a sideways step and look at Doctor Who of the present day. Now, it was announced. Where was it? Somebody sent me a whole. Okay, it was announced about a couple of months ago that Jodie Whittaker will be available for autographs and photos at a very expensive rate. I couldn't remember how much it was. It was like £150, £200, something like that. And I wondered on one live stream, what would you get for that amount of money with an average? Well, I would say with a not an average, I would say above average prostitute, right? Well, because that would seem to be a better use of money. Somebody did the research for me, and do I still have the email? 1 second. Let me see if I still got the email, because it's freaking hilarious. Let me have a look. It goes back quite so well. Did I get rid of it? Okay, right. So I don't know. Oh my god, I can't talk about this. Okay, so it's £220. Okay, so an average out call with a prostitute is £200. So that's expensive, isn't it? And it comes with I can't say all these things. Uniforms. Okay, no, honestly, I can't. If I go into the details of what you get. Uniforms and role-play. I would have thought that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? I'm just reading off a list right now. And I really can't. Thank you so much for the person who did this research. Apparently you get it from Eurogirlescort.com / there's a guide, right? Or wikisexguide.com. Okay, you can find out yourself. I would say that's probably money well spent. Well, money better spent than on this. Jodie Whittaker just photobombed Doctor Who cosplayers at LSCC. So, none so queer as folk, I think is a fair expression. None so queer as folk. This is strange for me. This is very, very strange for me because I just don't understand. I genuinely do not understand at all. What people who like Doctor Who like the current Doctor Who for. It seems it seems to be the absolute opposite, right? Absolute opposite. But they genuinely like it, right? Which is what this story is about, and they all were very, very happy this weekend. And I'm quite happy for them. Okay, I'm generally happy. I just don't understand, right? I don't understand. I was saying on a live stream last week that there's this Jewish thing where they have prayer services. You have people who lead the prayer service and they sing them, and I just find it excruciating, right? I find it absolutely excruciating. And that's what it sounds like to me. It's like, oh God, just stop. People love it. People freaking love it. They go on cruises, Jewy cruises, where it's all you can eat, food, kosher food, and they have concerts of these people. And I'm like, honestly, I'll be on the escape raft. But before you can, it sounds awful. It sounds truly awful. Don't get it, but okay. There's a million there's a million ways of looking at the world, and I think it's really important to, not be cynical and not go, hey, all you people are wrong. But I'm looking at this from it's just strange to me. So let's look at the story. About the London Spring Comic Con, a small affair comparatively, but a perfectly formed one. Well, I think we're talking about Nicola Bright now. It's sold out today, and there are still tickets available for tomorrow. We have 4 doctors: Colin Baker, Les McCoy, Richard E. Grant. Oh, come on! You're stretching a point there. And Jodie Whittaker. I think you're stretching a point with Richard E. Grant slightly less than Jodie Whittaker. And I just said about having lunch in the Greenwood with all 4 of them at the one table. Of course, my inner 7-year-old was screaming, but hey, I'm professional. I'm just out of school story. I just told out of school stories about Tom, I'm assuming Baker, which went down well. I've heard a few out of school stories about him as well. And they all had their own to share, of course. But anyway, here, look. Is he Jodie Whittaker photobombing with all the Jodie Whittaker fans? Now, I'm looking at these pictures and I'm seeing, like one specific demographic, right? It seems to be, how can I put it? Non-white heterosexual men. Now, why am I pointing this out? Why am I pointing it out? Because 98% of the world, are heterosexual. Not white and men, but heterosexual, right? Are cis, as people like this will call it, right? Cis Doctor Who fans, and that was the vast majority. So this Doctor Who really appeals to people who use the word cis, right? Who think cis is a bad thing. Like this guy, especially by the looks of it, to me, right? But okay, that doesn't look quite so much there. But here, let's look at we'll go to some other pictures over here. Doink, turn that off. So first, here we have this guy is Dominic. Oh, what was it? Dominic Martin. He works at Big Finish. I really like this guy, right? He seems like a genuinely nice, sweet guy, creative. They did a 1-disc free release, like a book on tape, with the Peter Davison release last month, I think, 40, and I haven't listened to it yet, but good for him. He's wearing the Fugitive Doctor's costume, and I must say, wearing it quite a bit better than, Joe Martin. I don't think it looks better. He's obviously very, very, very happy. Jodie Whittaker looks a bit knackered, okay? Jodie Whittaker looks like, oh God, how much more do I have to smile? But again, I don't want to be disingenuous. He looks genuinely happy, and I'm happy for him to be happy, right? I feel like I'll be a dick if I wasn't being happy, if I wasn't being nice to him. And here's again Jodie with all the Jodie fans. It seems that there seems to be a lot of them there, but it seems to be just one group of people, and she looks reasonably popular there. She does She does, that's true. She does look reasonably popular until you see something like this, right? If you don't look at the screen, look now. Okay, this is what popularity actually looks like. Lots of different people with lots of different kind of people loving this one person, right? And you might go, oh no, there's no gay people there. Well, how do you know? It's like it just used to be we didn't have to strap a rainbow-colored hat on to tell everybody, you know, what type of thing you like to have an orgasm with, right? Like what type of one? Like however you like to do that, it's fine, baby. I don't really care. But I think it was like just everybody, and yes, there aren't many dark-skinned people there. It was the 70s. There weren't many dark-skinned people anywhere. You know, I don't think it was like because they hated Doctor Who. In fact, I think this picture kind of shows that they didn't, right? They absolutely didn't. And again, look at these crowds. I remember as a kid going to see Tom Baker at my local kids' bookstore. Packed beyond packed beyond packed. Yeah, I think that's what popularity actually really genuinely looks like. And this, I think, is just a bit of a piece of desperate manufacture. But you know, this joy is real, right? This joy is real, and I don't want to be a dick about it, right? I don't want to be a dick about it and say, look, I'm happy for you. I just don't think this was Doctor Who, right? I just don't think this was Doctor Who at all. But okay, look, what can I tell you? It looks a bit worse there when you see how they get it cleaned out, you know, all the chairs in front of them. But like, okay, but I honestly, I get the feeling like this is kind of like the last hurrah, and all this cross-dressing stuff. Like, why is this guy dressed as Ace? For God's, I'm like, honestly, like a bit of, you know, sexual normalcy. And when I say normalcy, that's not in a way to be hateful. If you're not of the majority, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter if you feel that you're a lady and you want to keep your penis, okay? Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But like, you know, we all should be able to just get along, right? I just think a bit of sexual normalcy might be a good thing, right? Might be a good thing because sexuality is kind of like a central cornerstone part of reality, part of existence. But no, I think this is celebrated because this is an era that's not really into sexual normalcy, but very into sexual, abnormalcy. And again, don't be confused with hearing something is abnormal, and don't to say that's bad. It's okay. Again, I'm a very abnormal person on many ways, many ways. And it's groovy, baby. That's why I love Doctor Who, right? It's okay to be different, right? It is okay to be different, but it's all about being like there's only one way. You can only be different one way, and you got to just conform to what the media is screaming that you got to do today, right? So anyway, so of course, Jodie and Yaz are going to get together and have sex. I think it's fair. I think that's a fair way of describing it. I mean, listen, they did kind of presage it where they both fell into a bed in the TARDIS console room for some reason. I don't understand why in the end of a really stupid sequence. Whatever. But here's what's going on. This is what they're saying that is going on, and I think they're fibbing. Right? I think it's a bit of a fibby-wibby. Jodie Whittaker and Mandy Gill fought for 13 years after seeing Fandom's passion for the ship. Yeah, I'm sure you did see Fandom's passion for it, but you saw a small part of Fandom. How small part of Fandom? Seemingly a part of Fandom that makes up 1%, 1 to 2% of our population, right? But it also probably makes up, let's be generous, 10, 20% of Fandom, maybe. Yeah, don't be fooled by what's been put in front of you. It's called propaganda. Propaganda. But of course, Jodie Whittaker and Mandy Gill, not the sharpest tacks in the box, are they? We have Mandy Gill and Jodie Whittaker to thank for the burgeoning romance between their characters, Yaz and Doctor, on Doctor Who. Thank you. Yeah, okay. And listen, honestly, the more you can do to separate this from Doctor Who, the better from my perspective. Really, genuinely, the better. It makes me happy, right? It makes me happy that this has no connective tissue to Doctor Who, and the more that you get rid of, the better. I'm just really happy that this has just been rejected wholesale by the normies, as the ratings have told us. I mean, honestly, like, what do you think the ratings are going to be for Peaky Blinders when that comes back? Right? Do you think that's always going to be getting the 3 million or 2 million, live viewers that Doctor Who's getting? No, I think it's probably going to be doing a lot more. Why? Because it's not garbage, right? It's not agenda-filled garbage. During panel sessions at Doctor Who Convention Gallifrey 1, producer Matt Stevens, oh God, he's been talking again. Matt Stevens says the stupidest things. Revealed the push for Yaz and Doctor came from the two actors after Gil showed Whittaker the social media response to the two characters' relationship. Okay, so here's the bottom line thing you've really got to understand. Actors, generally speaking, are incredibly shallow, right? Incredibly shallow. That's actually quite mean. Okay, everybody is a collection of a lot of different things. There is a part of a genuine shallowness with actors that love to have other people say they're great, right? Get positive reinforcement, and also cowardice. It's utter cowardice to do and say whatever you need to say to get your next job. I mean, look at John Cena, right? John Cena starred in Peacemaker, which I liked a lot, right? And apparently he was on Twitter the other day talking tough about Russia and seemingly forgot how he groveled in front of China, right? Because he mentioned Taiwan. Yeah. Again, I have no idea how I got into that, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah, because actors are shallow and stupid, right? That was my point. So maybe not getting the most shallow, stupid people to drive your stories might be an idea, right? But no, they saw there will be a small section of the world that is magnified to be seen to be the entirety of the world in their insanity and their Twitter worldview. That we gotta we'll be the bestest ever, and everyone's gonna love us forever. Oh, icky thump. Jodie had bought the social media response to set after the first season and said, "There's speculation out icky thump. There's speculation out there. She might want to eat a bit of carpet. Oh, icky thump." And we hadn't really thought about it, darling. You hadn't really thought about much. I've seen you try to think. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Stephen said, but it became quite a big thing. Quite a big thing. And if you think about the history of Doctor Who, since Russell brought it back, every companion with the Doctor is a love story. No, it is not. Okay, let's whiz through it very quickly. We had Rose. It was more of a platonic love with the Ninth Doctor and Rose, which became like a very disconcerting one-of romantic love with the 10th Doctor. And the 9th Doctor was just too damaged to have any kind of romantic feeling, right? But and it was done one time only. Then you had, Martha, who mooned over the Doctor for a season and then realized he wasn't interested. That wasn't a love story at all. So I'm sorry. No, it ended up with Mickey. You had who was after Martha? Then you had Donna. Donna, very pointedly, not a love story, right? He's like, he said, "I just want to mate." He said, "I'm not going to mate with you, you tall thin." Yeah, it was very pointedly not a love story. Then you had Amy, who was kind of a horny teenager, and Matt Smith, who was kind of a hot guy. So she was putting it about, okay? Those early Amy episodes, she would sleep with anything. I mean, keep in mind, she was essentially a sex worker when we met her. Like, she was a kissogram, which is like, the PG-13 way of saying sex worker. And she was kind of like, again, very happy to put it about a bit. That's not really a love story, right? Yes, she ended up having a lifetime romance with Rory. But again, didn't really involve the Doctor. Clara, where's a love story there? I'm not really seeing it. Especially with Clara Capaldi, and then Bill Potts repeatedly said, like on a timer, every 12 minutes, I'm a lesbian. Oh, I saw a girl there. Not only was she a lesbian, she had a totally masculine way of looking at sexuality. So, no. I mean, yes, she had a love story in that she ended up going off with a water being, which I quite like that story, actually. I kind of like that arc. But again, yeah. What was the line again? It became quite a big thing. If you think about it, I'm thinking me. Look at me doing my thinking. Oh, I'm gonna think her so hard. Oh, if you thought, if you think about the history of Doctor Who for the last 5 minutes, Russell T. Every companion. Every companion story with the Doctor is a love story. Yes, if you know absolutely nothing about what you're talking about, that is correct. Everything is a love story. Yeah, of course. The last Doctor Who special, even the Dalek Yaz confesses that she's in love with the Doctor after new companion Dan, John Bishop, coaxes it out of her and then outs her to the Doctor. Which was terrible, right? It's a huge no-no. I think the way that Fandom did it, I think the way that Fandom did it was the best. Fandom did it, and the way that Geordie reacted was brilliant. Said Strevers, yes. Oh, that scene when she was when Yaz was masturbating over a hologram. I'm saying it in a vaguely Jodie voice for no reason. That was so convincing. Oh, so absolutely. No, it wasn't. Not convincing at all. Yaz isn't sure. Yaz isn't sure what these feelings he's having, but they're fundamental. She knows what the feelings is. She wants to scissor in the TARDIS. Okay, that's what she wants. And she thinks that the testament to John Bishop's performance that he outed her. And it was okay. Oh, God, what a terrible piece of writing. And he's sort of wheedling it out of them. I think it was brilliantly done. It wasn't. We still haven't seen more. We still have a bit more of Whittaker to look forward to. I think look forward to is a strong word, quite frankly, but okay, however you want to coax it. Even though the actor has already shot a regeneration scene, the second 3 planned specials, The Legend of the Sea Devils, will explore Yaz and the Doctor's relationship. Stephen Parr promised. Do you think it will? Oh, God, I hope so. It'll give me a lot to talk about, thank God. I like that a lot. And we'll be able to see it for ourselves. Legend of the Sea Devils on April 17th, 2022. I didn't know we had a date for that. Okay. Fine. Yeah, it's not doing that good. And look, there was another couple of stories, but I don't think we're going to go. I will look at this headline, which says it all. After saying, oh, it's all stunning and brave. Look at all the fans all club around her. Oh, Icky Thump. Oh, we're all so normal. Yeah, we represent British society. No, you don't. So I was saying that was stunning and brave and brilliant. They had this story saying, Doctor Who season 10 supercuts at the time when the show was still good. Oh, really? So you can't have it both bloody ways, mate, right? You cannot have it both bloody ways, which I guess going both ways is something that the Chibnall production team and Jodie Whittaker really wants to promote. Well, I promise you one last story of a convention, what's the word I'm looking for? Convention and Doctor Who fans, this time doing something brilliant. We saw lots and lots of Jodie Whittaker cosplay. Here's another one. This guy doesn't look so impressed, okay? But look, I've all had that. They paid their money. I'm happy for it. She's trying to entertain the crowd. I don't want to be a dick about this. I really don't want to be a dick. But, you know, the Gallifrey 1 convention also went on, and it did seem like I would rather be in Kiev. That because it was so Jodie Whittaker heavy, right? I would much rather be in Kiev right now than at the convention. And then I saw this picture. A couple of people on social media have pointed this out to me and said, "Is that you?" Firstly, I'm not that thin. Is that you behind the mask? I wish it was. Greatest greatest cosplay ever. Yeah, the two pairs. That's the story. That's my new piece of fan fiction that I will be working on in vivid detail. I think anytime I go to the bathroom for the next couple of months. There you go. Listen. I don't get many opportunities, but this one did the trick. Fantastic cosplay. I don't know who these young ladies are. By the way, check out that. I think they got the haircut really. I mean, there's a few things they got right, but I think they got the hair just right there, don't you? They got the Perry. We never had a bit of Perry midriff, but boy, do I like seeing it, and boy, do I understand this guy's expression. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.